LVO is here, and with it we've received a suite of reveals, way more than I thought we were going to get, honestly, which is very exciting. We've seen everything that we're going to get for the High Elves, as far as I'm aware. We've seen some teasers for Beastmen, and also a sneak peek at the next upcoming faction. Now, rumour has it that's going to be Cathay, and we'll talk about that more at the end of the video, but let's get into the High Elves. The first bit of news we get is that we are getting a Battalion and Arcane Journal, surprising no one. But the things that we get in here is 2 units. We get the Elven Spearmen, the Elven Archers, and then a pair of chariots. These chariots are the multi-kit ones of yesteryear, so you can turn them into the White Lion chariots or the Tyrannok chariots. I do enjoy when they make those chariots into, or make boxes where you can make 2 units out of a certain thing, especially when you've got potential extra pieces that you can put on there. I'll have to have a look as to whether it comes with different legs, or, you know, because this might just give you 4 additional white lines of chase if you wanted to run Tyrannok chariots. How do I feel about this box? I would have to wait and see as to what we're getting in the book, but this feels... These aren't units that I see massively run at the moment, so I'm not super excited about it. The chariots are cool. I like the chariots. And then the spearmen and the archers would be good because of what we see down below. But we have seen that there are some Lothern Sea Guard models coming, so I'm not actually super excited about that. However, we do have confirmed that we're getting the Tracian Warhost. So that's a White Lions themed detachment. And we're also getting the Sea Guard Garrison. So that's going to be Lothern Sea Guard themed, alongside special characters, new units, and wondrous new items. So that's exciting. Looking forward to seeing that one there. We've had the new art for the book revealed. Feels a little bit flat. It doesn't feel super old world or fantasy to me, but that's fine. It's only the art in a book. Obviously, the more important stuff is what we get on the inside. And also there's obviously going to be a dice pack, a reference card pack, which will sell out immediately. So if you do want that one, make sure that you place your order for that on opening weekend, because those things do go very quickly. And then there is a transfer sheet as well, which is nice. I'm not a transfer person, but I know that lots of people do like them. So it's always nice to see. And if we scroll down here, we can see plenty of stuff on the transfer sheet. Looks like we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you get about 20 odd of each insignia, give or take. If anyone is more interested, they're welcome to count themselves. But at a quick glance, looks like you get about 20 of each, which gives you some good variety for those transfer sheets there. Then on to the real exciting stuff. There is a glittering array of disciplined soldiers and elegant war machines ready to deploy, including 2 new heroes and a new unit. So that's the great stuff, the really exciting bit. We're starting off with the Lord of Trace, and as you can see here, we've got a Trace-themed Lord. It says below, it's a resin model, which is, I think, reasonable. I believe if they do them in resin, it comes out quite a bit cheaper for the customer, so I'm in favour of that. Adorned with a lion cloak and armed with an axe and a sword, made from Forge World resin, he's an ideal pick for an elf lord with Tracian honours, or as a Tracian chieftain, exclusive to the Tracian Warhost. So makes sense that they're getting their own sort of captain unit, but it's interesting that that's going to be different to the lords and nobles we've got at the moment. Interested to see how that works. I'm hoping that interacts with the White Lions in some way, gives them some sort of buff. I don't feel what White Lions are lacking currently is the ability to do damage. It's more getting to combat, getting to strike first. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of buff or other abilities he conveys. So looking forward to seeing that one. Next, we have Ashiaves, Sentinel of the Silent Isle. First off the bat, I really like this model. This is very dynamic. I like the posing. There's no tactical rock. This feels a lot more believable as a fantasy mini than some of the stuff that we've seen come out of Age of Sigmar, especially over the coming years, or the previous years. This is great. I really enjoy this. She was singled out by the Sea Lord Aslin for her unwavering discipline and fearsome fighting prowess. She's been named the Sentinel of the Silent Isle, granted the responsibility of commanding a coastal garrison in defence of the Sacred Home. Very believably seaworthy, looking at this model. Armed with the Trident of Manoleth's Ire, happiest when leading a unit of Lothern Sea Guard into the heart of battle, and again, made out of resin, and a linchpin of the Sea Guard garrison. So interesting to see how she interacts with Lothern Sea Guard. Lothern Sea Guard are a unit that I am more, as the rules currently stand, I am more impressed by Sea Guard than I am by the White Lions, because Sea Guard can interact at range, and they've got some interesting abilities. So I'm actually pretty interested to see how she interacts with them. Hopefully brings some sort of buff, maybe allows Sea Guard to volley fire. when they stand and shoot. Something like that could be really good. Finally, we're onto the Illyrian Reavers. And it says below, this kit is heavily influenced by the miniatures found in the Old Island of Blood box set, which is incredible because those were great models. Just everything in there is great. And we're going to see a lot of those coming back, which is very nice. They have been comprehensively resculpted for a new era. That's interesting. I'm not 100% sure what that refers to, but, and I don't know this, looking at them, I'm thinking maybe that means that they're multi-part posable models, as opposed to be the single push fit ones that came in the Island of Blood. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. You get 10 in here, a couple of units of 5, probably be a good pickup. So looking forward to these coming out. Great dynamic models. This is a really nice updating of a theme. So they've kept to the high elf look and updated them in a way that doesn't make them feel too cartoony. Yeah, love this. Really big fan of the new Illyrian Reavers. On to the returning plastic kits, and you couldn't have high elves without having a dragon, and this is probably my favourite dragon kit in existence. I remember when it came out, I was blown away at how versatile it was. You can put 3 different casters, or 2 casters and a lord on it. Wow, incredible stuff. The wording is interesting to me. So it says mount on a moon dragon or star dragon, or a dragon mage mounted on a moon dragon, just completely ignoring the sun dragon as well. I don't think there was a separate kit for that. In fact, I'm fairly certain it was all the same one. So interested as to why that wording's there. Maybe just a bit of a miscommunication. But yes, this will cover all of your dragon needs for high elf players going forwards. We've also got the Flamespire Phoenix / Frostspire Phoenix. Each can be ridden by a Health Lord with the anointed Vasurian Elven Honours. Great stuff. I honestly haven't really looked at this kit all that much. I forgot that it had come with a lord on top, and I'm half tempted to pick one up just for the pieces to combine with a dragon, so that might be something that I have to do later on down the line. But again, great to have these returning plastic kits. Down below it says, even the most supercilious of high elves recognise the importance of fighting to protect the world at large. Lords and mages on foot and mounted are key figures, and we have got returning lords and mages that are coming back. First of all, we've got the classic plastic BSB and Lord kit. So you can build one mounted, you can build one on foot. They're fully multi-part, so you can put them, the BSB on a horse if you want to. I'm a huge fan of these kits. I really liked them when they came out the first time round. I think they're fantastic. There's so many pieces in there as well. So huge fan of that. Really glad to see that one returning. We've also got the multi-part wizard kit as well, which is a returning plastic. I don't know why I'm surprised to see this. I wasn't actually expecting to see it, so very glad to see it come back. Always nice to have a bit of flexibility with how you build your wizards, just in terms of how they're put together. And then there's also this, I believe, Swordmaster of Heath inspired wizard as well. There is a name for it, a Lawmaster, I believe is the wording. So great model, again, very dynamic. Happy to see this one come back. So I'll probably be picking one of these up as well, because if you can't tell, continuing on, we've got returning cavalry options, Dragon Princes and Silver Helms. And then more excitingly, it says the Lothan Sea Guard miniatures from Island of Blood released separately for the first time. And then it describes them there. And then also the Phoenix Guard are coming back. So we've got these lovely Dragon Princes. Great stuff there. Hopefully we get something that makes them a little bit more exciting in the Arcane Journal. I'm a tad underwhelmed by them, but the models are fantastic. So again, I might have to pick some up just because of the look. We've got the Silver Helms. These are classic. I wouldn't mind seeing these ones updated in the future, but it's not a first order of business. I'm not upset to see them come back. And here we go, the Island of Blood Lothan Sea Guard. These models are fantastic. If we weren't getting these, I'd be more excited about what we're getting in the books, because the battalion box, you could just combine them and make a load of Lothan Sea Guard from that, and you still can do that, but these models are so nice. By my count, I think you get 35 in a box, which is a slightly bizarre number, but they look fantastic. I'm really looking forward to these, and these models coming back means that I'll definitely be making efforts to make Lothan Sea Guard work. I really like these sculpts, and I'd love to be able to put a brick of them on the board, see how that goes. Finally, we've got in this section the Phoenix Guard. Phoenix Guard are great. You get 20, you get 2 command sprues. Just lovely models. Big fan of these. Not much to say apart from love them. Glad they're coming back. If you thought we were being spoiled, we're also getting the Swordmasters of Heath from Island of Blood, which again, incredible models. These things are still sold on eBay. People still pick them up. Great quality models. Look at how many we get in the box. I think you get 40 by the looks of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, you get 32, which is a nice round number for some reason. But fantasies always come in weird multiples of 4. Not only that, we get the Warriors, the White Lines of Trace, the dual purpose Sisters of Avalon kit. Honestly, I didn't even realize it was a dual purpose kit, so that's nice. And then we've got the standard Spearmen and Archers if you want to pick any of those up outside of the battalion. So looking through, great stuff here. Love these models. Glad to see them come back. Then we've got the White Lions as well. Again, lovely stuff. Obviously, we're expecting to see a lot of interaction with White Lions, so I'm excited to see how these go. Here's the dual kit, the Sisters of Avalon. Looks like you only get 10 in it. I'm assuming you probably get 20, given how they've been packaging fantasy boxes, but these are the ones that can also be run as Shadow Warriors. Again, really nice models there. And we've got the Spearmen and the Archers as well. These ones are a little bit suffering from the age of the kits, in my opinion. They look a little bit clunkier, but if you're a huge fan of the classic range, then obviously I'd expect you to be happy to see these ones come back. Then we've got some returning chariots. First of all, we've got the Lothan Skycutter. This thing is... the first time I saw it, I wasn't impressed. It seemed a little too gimmicky for me, but it's definitely grown on me over the years. So it is an eagle pulling a chariot. Great stuff there. I really like this model, and rules-wise as well, I think there's a lot of reason to run one. So very pleased to see this returning. The double flight stand does make me a little bit nervous, just in terms of how often I transport my models. So I might have to work something out there. But great kit. Glad to see that one coming back. We've also got the bolt throwers, as not you'd expect with the way they've been doing the artillery packages, a set of 2. And then not in the first wave, these are a returning later wave. We've got the chariots as well. You can make 2 Tyrannoc chariots, or you can make 2 White Lion chariots, or a combination thereof. And they've said that these ones aren't going to be in the first wave. They're going to be in a secondary wave. Down to the metal kits, we've got 3 returning metal kits. First of all, we've got the Handmaiden of the Everqueen, obviously one of the options that you can take in the book at the current. We've got Corhill Lionmane as well, the greatest elven warrior in all of Ulthuan. And then finally, we're getting returning Great Eagles, but they're not coming in on the first wave. So exciting stuff there, but we are missing a couple of bits. So the main thing that leaps out to me is that we aren't getting any Emerworm. That was teased early on, and it's not here. However, this isn't, I think, and I could be wrong, I don't think this is everything we're going to be getting. I think this is the first wave. They've teased a couple of things that are returning at a later date. So we've got the Great Eagles, we've got the Tyrannoc Chariot, but normally when they do a later wave of miniature releases, they don't show everything up front. So I'm expecting still a Merworm later on. We'll have to see about that one, especially given that we've got the Lothan Sea Guard coming in their own detachment. But yeah, happy with what we're getting so far. Excited to see what we're getting. And let's have a look at the Beastmen-wise. We've had a single model revealed, or I should say 2, I guess. There's a familiar on there as well. And this model is Kralmor. Morga the Shadowgrave, obviously one of the big figures in Beastmen lore, apparently hand-reared the mewling newborn that would grow up into Kralmor, the Prophet of Ruin, and that's what we've got here. So a blind caster, by the looks of things, interested to see what this pans out into. And the sort of lore blast that we get underneath is he was not present when the Wood Elves killed Morga, but has received simultaneous visions of death and rebirth, and he stalks the land seeking the infant that will one day return as the Shadowgrave. So Morga is a character that when he dies is reborn in a different body, a new spirit, something along those lines. So it's interesting that that's the approach they're going with. So we're not getting the returning character we might have expected, but we've got someone who might herald it in, which in my eyes means that next time we get a Beastman update, we're going to be getting Morga. Not for this edition, but maybe for the next edition, something along those lines. We also get, excitingly, they're using him to parlay into a look at what we're getting ahead. This cloven clairvoyant knows the future of the old world and has presented us a glimpse. So you can see here the core factions. It's interesting to me that they've labelled it core factions. I don't think it means anything, but it's nice that they're acknowledging that it's not everything that they do. We've got what has been released so far in order. We've got the High Elves as the next one, and then we've got more to come. Beastmen, and Wood Elves in the order that we were expecting them. So if we're getting High Elves in the next month or two, I would expect to see Beastmen in the next 2 to 4 months, and then Wood Elves in, I guess, the next 4 to 6 months, something along those lines. And then we've got more to come here, and we've got just a little bit of a background, an empty picture frame, which is interesting. And by the time I woke up, because these reveals came out at 5 a.m., by the time I woke up, the internet sleuths had already been on. I've gone full screen so you can see this in all its detail, but if you have a look at the frame here, you can see what looks like it could be a mountain with a bit of greenery on the side. Now, I wouldn't have really been able to work this out myself, honestly, without having the feeling that Cathay might be coming, but someone's put it together, and if we clip to this image here, you can see that someone's managed to find the exact same hill, the exact same bit of greenery, and they've given us a little bit more of the image as well. You can see that there's some spears here, some fog, some mist. Okay, great stuff. What does that end up meaning? Well, if you look here, this is the image that it comes from. It is an image from Total War, and it is an image of Cathay. So I think we can take this as a tactic admission that we are getting Cathay, and while I don't want to speculate too much as to what we're getting because it's so early in the cycle, we can see that there's a terracotta warrior in the back. We've got plenty of humans. We've got some sort of floating airships as well, and plenty of cavalry. Now, I don't actually know what you get in Total War Cathay, so that's going to be my next job. Going to be immediately brushing up on that, so I can, vibrate in excitement for the next 8-10 months while we wait for this to come out. But yeah, very cool, very exciting, and it's nice to see that we've got some hints on the horizon. And looking forward to Cathay. Finally, and this is not old world content technically, but it's old world adjacent. We've got new Age of Sigmar models coming. Am I going to play Age of Sigmar? No. But am I going to use these models for Old World? Perhaps. They are some quite nice models. So let's just have a very quick blast through. A new release for the Soul Blight Gravelords, which is their Undead faction. You can see here, first of all, we've got a new battle box. These things tend to be expensive, so you don't actually get all that much for your money. But this is a box that I could see myself picking up if I wanted to do Undead. The reason for that is we've got 20 nice new Graveguard with options for shields or two-handed weapons. We've got 5 Black Knights, I would call them, but they're going to call them something different. And then we've got a character on horse as well. So if we just have a quick look at those, not super in love with the white. It does feel like it's moved more in the Age of Sigmar direction, which is absolutely fine. It's a model for the game, so I shan't complain about that. But I really, really like these Graveguard. Look at these models. They are pretty lovely. We've got some real dynamism without, I think, taking up too much space on the base. These things look like they'd rank up, with maybe the exception of this chap down in the bottom right. But yeah, really looking forward to these models. They are probably going to come out at an incredible premium because it's new Age of Sigmar plastics, but we'll see how that goes. And then the skeletal horsemen as well are, if I just zoom out slightly so you can see the full thing, these are great as well. These look like they'd rank up very nicely. The legs look, I don't know, surprisingly thick, but I guess they have to have something to stand on. And yeah, I like these as well. So if I do Undead, these are probably something that Thank you for watching. Thank you for getting to the end of the video. If you've reached this point and you haven't already, I would really appreciate a like, a comment, a subscription if you haven't done those things. It just helps me get seen by more people, boost me up in the algorithm, all of the stuff that the YouTubers do like to say. If you would like to support me in my goal to become a full-time YouTuber, I would absolutely appreciate that. You can become a member below. There are various perks to those, name at the end of the videos, all that good stuff, but it also unlocks some VIP areas in Discord if you become a Longbeard or Ground Knight tier supporter. Those VIP sections are the only parts that are locked away in Discord. You don't have to be a member to join the Discord. I'd recommend that you should. We've got about 450, 500 people on there. It's a great place for discussion, a lot of fun. I do try and chime in as much as possible. And it's also where the Fix My List show lists are put, and also if you are one of the Ground Knight or Longbeard tier supporters, where you participate in choosing which list I play in the monthly Pick My List series.